I thought the king had more affected the Duke of Albany than Cornwall. It did always seem so to us. But now in the division of the kingdom, it appears not which of the dukes he values most. For qualities are so weighed that curiosity in neither can make choice of either's mighty. Is not this your son, my lord? His breeding, sir, hath been at my charge. I have so often blushed to acknowledge him that now I am braced to it. I cannot conceive you. Sir, this young fellow's mother could, whereupon she grew round-wombed, and had indeed, sir, a son for her cradle, ere she had a husband for her bed. Do you smell a fault? I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper. But I have a son, sir, by order of law, some year elder than this, who yet is no dearer in my account, though this knave came something saucily into the world before he was sent for. Yet was his mother fair, there was good sport at his making, and the whoreson must be acknowledged. Do you know this noble gentleman, Edmund? No, my lord. My lord of Kent, remember him hereafter as my honourable friend. My services to your lordship. I must love you and sue to know you better. Sir, I shall study deserving. He has been out 9 years, and away he shall again. The king is coming. Attend the lords of France and Burgundy, Gloucester. And so, my liege. Meantime, we shall express our darker purpose. Give me the map there. Know that we have divided in 3 our kingdom. It is our fast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on younger strengths, while we unburden crawl toward death. A son of Cornwall, and you are no less loving son of Albany, we have this hour a constant will to publish our daughter's several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now. The princes, France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, long in our court have made their amorous sojourn, and here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, since now we will divest us both of rule, interests of territory, cares of state, which of you shall we say doth love us most, that we our largest bounty may extend when nature doth with merit challenge? Goneril, our eldest born, speak first. Sir, I love you more than words can wield the matter, dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty, beyond what can be valued, rich or rare, no less than life, with grace, health, beauty, honor, as much as child e'er loved or father found, a love that makes breath poor and speech unable, beyond all manner of so much I love you. What shall Cordelia do? Love and be silent. Of all these bounds, even from this line to this, with chateauy forests, and with champagnes rich, with plenteous rivers and wide-skirted meads, we make thee lady. To thine and Albany's issue be this perpetual. What says our second daughter, our dearest Regan, wife to Cornwall? Speak. I am made of that self-meddles my sister, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart I find she names thy very deed of love, only she comes too short. That I profess myself an enemy to all other joys which the most precious square of sense possesses, and I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness's love. Then poor Cordelia, yet not so, since I am sure my love's more ponderous than my tongue. To thee, in thine hereditary ever, remain this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure than that conferred on Goneril. Now our joy, although the last, not least, to whose young love the vines of France and milk of Burgundy strive to be interest, what can you say to draw a third more opulent than your sisters? Speak. Nothing, my lord. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing will come up. Nothing speak again. Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty according to my bond, nor more nor less. How now, Cordelia? Mend your speech a little, lest you may mar your fortunes. Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as a right fit, obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sisters husbands if they say they love you all? Happily when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my plight shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure, I shall never marry like my sisters, that love my father all. But goes thy heart with this? Ay, good my lord, so young and so untender, so young, my lord, and true. Let it be so. Thy truth fain be thy dower. For by the sacred radiance of the sun, the mysteries of Hecate and the night, by all the operation of the orbs from whom we do exist and cease to be, yet I disclaim all my paternal care, propinquity, and property of blood, and as a stranger to my heart and me, hold thee from this forever. The barbarous Scythian, or he that makes his generation messes to gorge his appetite, shall to my bosom be as well near but pitied and relieved, as thou, my sometime daughter. Good my liege, peace, Kent. Come not between the dragon and his wrath. I loved her most, and thought to set my rest on her kind nursery. Hence, and avoid my sight. So be my glaive, my peace, if here I give her father's heart from her. Call France, who stirs? Call Burgundy, call more Normandy. With my 2 daughters' dowers digest the third. Let pride, whom she calls plainness, marry her. I do invest you jointly with my power, preeminence, and all the large effects that troop with majesty. Herself by monthly course, with reservation of 100 knights by you to be sustained, shall our abode make with you by due turns. Only we still retain the name and all the additions to a king. The sway, revenue, execution of the rest, beloved sons, be yours, royal Lear, whom I have ever honored as my king, loved as my father, as my master followed, as my great patron thought on in my prayers. The bow is bent and drawn, make from the shaft. Let it fall rather, though the fork invade the region of my heart. Be Kent unmannerly when Lear is mad. What wouldst thou do, old man? Think'st thou that duty shall have dread to speak when power to flattery bows? The plainest honour's bound when majesty falls to folly. Preserve thy state, and in thy best consideration check this hideous rashness. Answer my life, my judgment. Thy youngest daughter does not love thee least, nor are those empty-hearted whose low sound reverbs no hollowness. Peace, Kent, on my life no more. My life I never held but as a pawn to wage against thine enemies, nor fear to lose it, thy safety being the motive out of my sight. See better, Lear, and let me still remain the true blank of thine eye. Now by Apollo, king, thou swearest thy gods and reign. O vassal, miscreant, dear sir, forbear. Do, kill thy physician, and the fee bestow upon the foul disease. Revoke thy gift, or whilst I can vent clamour from my throat, I'll tell thee thou dost evil. Hear me, recreant, on thine allegiance hear me. Since thou hast sought to make us break our vow, which we durst never yet, and with strained pride to come betwixt our sentence and our power, which nor our nature nor our place can bear, our potency made good, take thy reward. 5 days we do allot thee for provision to shield thee from disasters of the world, and on the 6th return thy hatred back upon our kingdom. If on the 10th day following thy banished trunk be found in our dominions, the moment is thy death. Away, by Jupiter, this shall not be revoked. Fare thee well, king. Sith thus thou wilt appear, freedom lives hence, and banishment is here. The gods to their dear shelter take thee, maid, that justly thinks, and has most rightly said. And your large speeches may your deeds approve, their good effects may spring from words of love. Thus, Kent, O princes bids you all adieu. He'll shape his old course in a country new. Here's French and Burgundy, my noble lord. My lord of Burgundy, we first address toward you, who with this king hath rivaled for our daughter. What in the least will you require in present dower with her, or cease your quest of love? Most royal majesty, I crave no more than hath your highness offered, nor will you tender less. Right noble Burgundy, when she was dear to us, we did hold her so, but now her price is fallen. Sir, there she stands. If aught within that little seeming substance, or all of it, with our displeasure pieced and nothing more, may fitly like your grace, she's there, and she's yours. I know no answer. Will you, with those infirmities she owes, unfriended, new adopted to our hate, dowered with our curse, and stranged with our oath, take her or leave her? Pardon me, royal sir. Election makes not up on such conditions. Then leave her, sir. War by the power that made me, I tell you more her worth. For you, great king, I would not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore beseech you to avert your liking a more worthier way than on a wretch whom nature is ashamed almost to acknowledge hers. This is most strange, that she, who even but now was your best object, the argument of your praise, balm of your age, most best, most dearest, should in this trice of time commit a thing so monstrous to dismantle so many foes to favour. Sure, offence must be of such unnatural degree that monsters it, or your full vouched affection fall into taint, which to believe of her must be a faith that reason without miracle could never plant in me. And yet beseech your majesty, if I want that glib and oily art to speak and purpose not, since what I well intend I'll do it before I speak, that you make known it is no vicious blot, murder or foulness, no unchaste action or dishonoured step that hath deprived me of your grace and favour, but even for want of that for which I am richer, a still soliciting eye, and such a tongue that I am glad I have not, though not to have it has lost me in your liking. Better thou hast not been born than not to have pleased me better. Is it but this, a tardiness in nature in which often leaves the history unspoke, that it intends to do? My lord of Burgundy, what say you to the lady? Love's not love when it is mingled with regards that stand aloof from the entire point. Will you have her? She is herself a dowry. Oh, king, give me but that portion which yourself proposed, and here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy. Nothing. I have sworn, I am firm. I am sorry that you have so lost a father that you must lose a husband. Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respects of fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife. Fairest Cordelia, thou art most rich, being poor, most choice, forsaken, and most loved, despised. Thee and thy virtues here I seize upon. Be it lawful, I take up what's cast away. Gods, gods! 'Tis strange that from their coach neglect my love should kindle to inflamed respect. Thy dowerless daughter, king, thrown to my chances queen of us, of ours, and our fair friends. Not all the dukes of waterish Burgundy can buy this unprized precious maid of me. Bid them farewell, Cordelia, though unkind. Thou losest here a better where to find. Thou hast a France, let her be thine, for we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone without our grace, our love, our benison. Come, noble Burgundy, bid farewell to your sisters. Ye jewels of our father, with washed eyes Cordelia leaves you. I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loth to call your faults as they are named. Love well our father, to your professed bosoms I commit him, but yet, alas, Stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So farewell to you both. Prescribe not us our duty. Let your study be to content your lord, who hath received you at fortune's arms. You have obedience scanted, and well are worth the want that you have wanted. Time shall unfold with plighted cunning hides, who cover faults, at last shame them, derides. Well may you prosper. Come, my fair Cordelia. Sister, it is not little I have to say of what most nearly appertains to us both. I think our father will hence tonight. That's most certain, and with you. Next month with us. You see how full of changes his age is. The observation we have made of it has not been little. He always loved our sister most, and with what poor judgment he has now cast her off appears too grossly. 'Tis the infirmity of his age. Yet he has ever but slenderly known himself. The best and soundest of his time has been but rash. Then must we look to receive from his age not alone the imperfections of long and graft condition, but therewithal the unruly waywardness that infirm and colic years bring with them. Such unconstant starts are we like to have from him, as this of Kent's banishment. There's further compliment of leave-taking between France and him. Pray you, let us hit together. If our father carry authority with such dispositions as he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us. We shall further think of it. We must do something, and in the heat. Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services abound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me? For there I am some 12 or 14 moonshines the like of a brother. Why, bastard! Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind is generous, and my shape as true as honest madam's issue, why brand they us with with baseness, bastardy, base? Base, who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth. Within a dull, stale, tired bed, go to the creating a whole tribe of fops got tween asleep and wake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate. If this letter speed, and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now gods, stand up for bastards, king banished thus, and France in colour potted, and the king gone tonight, subscribed his power, confined to exhibition. All this done upon the guard. Now, what news? So please your lordship, none. Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter? I know no news, my lord. What paper were you reading? Nothing, my lord. No, what needed then that terrible dispatch of it into your pocket? The quality of nothing has no such need to hide itself. Let's see, come. If it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles. I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother, that I have not all or read, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your overlooking. Give me the letter, sir. I shall offend either to detain or give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame. Let's see. I hope for my brother's justification he wrote this but as an essay or taste of my virtue. This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our times. Keep our fortunes from us till our oldness cannot relish them, I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of aged tyranny, who sways not as it has power, but as it is suffered. Come to me, that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever, and live the beloved of your brother, Edgar. Conspiracy. Sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue. My son Edgar, had he a hand to write this, a heart and brain to breathe it in? When came this to you? Who brought it? It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet. You know the character to be your brother's. If the matter were good, my lord, I durst swear it were his. But in respect of that, I would fain think it were not. It is his. It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents. Has he never before sounded you in this business? Never, my lord. But I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons at perfect age and fathers declined, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue. Now, villain, his very opinion in the letter. Abhorred villain, unnatural, detested, brutish villain, worse than brutish. Go, sirrah, seek him. I'll apprehend him. Abominable villain, where is he? I do not well know, my lord. If it so please you to suspend your indignation against my brother, till you can derive from him better testimony of his intent, you shall run a certain course. Well, if you violently proceed against him, mistaking its purpose, you would make a great gap in your own honor, and shake in pieces the heart of his obedience. I dare pawn down my life for him, that he hath writ this to feel my affection to your honor, and to no other purpose or pretence of danger. Think you so? If your honor judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an auricular assurance have your satisfaction, and that without any further delay than this very evening. He cannot be such a monster, nor is not sure, to his father, that so tenderly and entirely loves him, heaven and earth. Edmund, seek him out, wind him into me. I pray you, frame the business after your own wisdom. I will unstate myself to be in a due resolution. I will seek him, sir, presently, convey the business as I shall find means, and acquaint you with all. These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us. Though the wisdom of nature can reason it thus and thus, yet nature finds itself scourged by the sequent effects. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide, in cities mutinies, in countries discord, in palaces treason, and the bond cracked twixt son and father. This villain of mine comes under the prediction. There's son against father. The king falls from bias of nature. There's father against child. We have seen the best of our time, machinations, hollowness, treachery, and all ruinous disorders follow us disquietly to our graves. Find out this villain Edmund. It shall lose thee nothing. Do it carefully. And the noble and true-hearted Kent banished. His offence, honesty. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the surfeit of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if we were villains by necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on, an admirable evasion of whoremaster man, to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star, My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I'm rough and lecherous. Tut, I should have been that I am, had the maidenly star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Pat, he comes, like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom of Bedlam. No, these eclipses do portend, these divisions, fa sola mi. How now, brother Edmund, what serious contemplation are you in? I'm thinking, brother, of a prediction I read this other day. What should follow these eclipses? Do you busy yourself with that? I promise you, the effects he writes of succeed unhappily, as of unnaturalness between the child and the parent. Death, dissolutions of ancient amities, divisions in state, menaces and maledictions against king and nobles, needless diffidences, banishment of friends, dissipation of cohorts, nuptial breaches, and I know not what. How long have you been a sectary? Astronomical. Come. When saw you my father last? The night gone by. Spake you with him? Aye, 2 hours together. Parted you in good terms. Found you no displeasure in him, by word, no countenance? None at all. Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him, and at my entreaty forbeared his presence, till some little time has qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this instant so rages in him that with the mischief of your person it would scarcely allay. Some villain had done me wrong. That's my fear. I pray you have a continent forbearance till the speed of his rage goes slower, and as I say, retire with me to my lodging, from whence I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray you go. If you do stir abroad, go armed. Armed, brother. Brother, I advise you to the best. I'm no honest man if there be any good meaning toward you. I've told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly. Nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you, away. Shall I hear from you anon? I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, and whose foolish honesty my practice is right easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit. All with me's meet, that I can fashion fit. Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding of his fool? Yes, madam. By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or other that sets us all at odds. I'm not endured it. His nights grow riotous, and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I am sick. If you come slack of former services, you shall do well. The fault of it I'll answer. He's coming, madam, I hear him. Put on what weary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I'd have it come to question. If he distaste it, let him to our sister, whose mind and mine I know in that are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man that still will manage those authorities that he hath given away. Now, by my life, old fools are babes again, and must be used with checks as flatteries when they are seen abused. Remember what I tell you. Very well, madam. And let his knights have a coat of looks among you. What grows of it, no matter. Advise your fellows so. I would breed from hence occasions, and I shall, that I may speak. I'll ride straight to my sister, to hold my very course, prepare for dinner, if but as well I other accents borrow, that can my speech diffuse, my good intent may carry through itself, to that full issue for which I raised my likeness. Now banished Kent, if thou canst serve where thou dost stand condemned, So may it come, thy master, whom thou lovest, shall find thee full of labours. Let me not stay a jot for dinner. Go, get it ready. Now, what art thou? A man, sir? What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us? I do profess to be no less than I seem, to serve him truly that will put me in trust, to love him that is honest, to converse with him that is wise and says little, to fear judgment, to fight when I cannot choose, and to eat no flesh. What art thou? A very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as the king. If thou be as poor for the subject as he is for the king, thou art poor enough. What wouldst thou? Service. Who wouldst thou serve? You? Dost thou know me, fellow? No, sir, but you have that in your countenance which I would fain call master. What's that? Authority. What services canst thou do? I can keep one's counsel, ride, run, mar a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men are fit for, I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence. How old art thou? Not so young, sir, to love a woman for singing, nor so old to dote on her for anything. I've years on the back 48. Follow me. Thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse at the dinner, I will not part from thee yet. Dinner, ho, dinner. Where's my knave, my fool? Go you, and call my fool hither. You, sirrah, where's my daughter? So please you. What says the fellow there? Call the clodpole back. Where's my fool? Oh, I think the world asleep. How now, where's that mongrel? He says, my lord, your daughter is not well. Why came not the slave back to me when I called him? Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner. He would not. He would not? My lord, I know not what the matter is. But to my judgment, your highness is not entertained with that ceremonious attention as you were wont. There's a great abatement of kindness appears, as well in the general dependents as in the duke himself also, and your daughter. Say'st thou so? I beseech you pardon me, my lord, if I be mistaken, for my duty cannot be silent when I think your highness wronged. Thou but rememberest me of mine own conception. I have perceived the most faint neglect of late, which I have rather blamed as mine own jealous curiosity, than as a very pretense and purpose of unkindness. I will look further into it. But where's my fool? I've not seen him these 2 days. Since my young lady's going to France, sir, the fool has much pined away. No more of that, I have noted it well. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with her. And you, call hither my fool. Come you hither, sir. Who am I, sir? My lady's father? My lady's father? My lord's knave, you whoreson dog, you slave, you cur. I'm none of these, my lord. I beseech your pardon. Do you bandy looks with me, you rascal? I'll not be struck, my lord, nor tripped neither, oh, you base football player. I thank thee, fellow. Thou servest me, and I love thee. Come, sir, rise, away. If you will measure your lover's length again, tarry. But away, go to. Have you wisdom, so? Now, my friendly knave, I thank thee. There's earnest of thy service. Let me hire him too. Here's my coxcomb. How now, my pretty knave? How dost thou? Sirrah, you had best take my coxcomb. Why, fool? Why, for taking one's part that's out of favour. Nay, and thou canst not smile as the wind sits, thou catch cold shortly. There, take my coxcomb. Why, this fellow hath banished 2 honest daughters, and done a third a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, nuncle? Would I had 2 coxcombs, and 2 daughters? Why, my boy, if I gave them all my living, I'd keep me coxcombs myself. There's mine. Beg another of thy daughters. Take heed, sirrah, of the whip. Choose the dog must a kennel. He must be whipped out when ladies abroach may stand by the fire and stink. A pestilent gall to me. Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech. Do. Mark it, nuncle. Have more than thou showest. Speak less than thou knowest. Lend less than thou owest. Ride more than thou goest. Learn more than thou showest. Set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep and adore, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens to a score. This is nothing, fool. Then 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, nuncle? Why, no, boy. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Prithee, tell him, so much the rent of his land comes to, he will not believe a fool. A bitter fool. Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet fool? No, lad, teach me. That lord that counsels thee to give away thy land can place him here by me. Do thou for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear. The one in motley here, the other found out there. Dost thou call me fool, boy? All thy other titles thou hast given away, that thou wast born with. This is not altogether fool, my lord. No, faith, lords and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they would have part on it, and ladies too. They will not let me have all the food to myself. They'll be snatching. Give me an egg, nuncle, and I'll give thee 2 crowns. What 2 crowns shall they be? Why, after I have cut the egg in the middle and eat up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg. When thou clovest thy crown in the middle and gavest away both parts, thou borest thine ass on thy back o'er the dirt. Thou hadst little wit in thy broad crown when thou gavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so. Fools had nailed that foot in a year, for wise men are grown foppish, and know not how their wits to wear. Their manners are so apish. When were you wont to be so full of song, sirrah? I've used it, nuncle, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mother. For when thou gavest them the rod, and putst down thine own breeches, then they for sudden joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king should play bo peep, and go the fools among. Prithee, nuncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie. Can you lie, sirrah? We'll have you whipped. I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true, they'll have me whipped for lying, and sometimes I'm whipped for holding my peace. I'd rather be any kind of thing than a fool. And yet I would not be thee, nuncle. Thou hast pawed thy wit on both sides, and left nothing in the middle. Here comes one of the parings. Now, daughter, what makes that frontlet on? Methinks you are too much ablaze in the frown. Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care for a frowning. Now thou art an O without a figure. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool. Thou art nothing. Yes, forsooth, I will hold my tongue. So your face bids me, though you say nothing. Mum, he that keeps no crust no crumb, weary of all shall want some. That's a shield piece, Scott. Not only, sir, this your all-licensed fool, but other of your insolent retinue do hourly cup and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be endured riots. Sir, I had thought by making this will known unto you to have found a safe redress, but now grow fearful by what yourself too late have spoken done, that you protect this course and put it on by your allowance. which if you should, the fault would not scape censure, nor the redresses sleep, which in the tender of a wholesome weal might in their working do you that offence, which else were shame, that then necessity will call discreet proceeding. For you know, nuncle, the head sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it had its head bit off by its young. So out went the candle, and we were left darkling. Now you are thought. Come, sir, why would you make use of that good wisdom whereof I know you're fraught, and put away these dispositions that of late transform you from what you rightly are? May not an ass know when the cart draws a horse? Oh, Chuck, I love thee. Does any here know me? This is not Lear. Does Lear walk thus, speak thus? Where are his eyes? Neither his notion weakens, his discernings are lethargied. Waking? 'Tis not so. Who is it that can tell me who I am? Lear's shadow. I would learn that, for by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge, and reason, I should be forced persuaded that I had daughters, which they will make an obedient father. Your name, fair gentle woman? This admiration, sir, is much of the favour of other your new pranks. I do beseech you to understand my purposes aright. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this a court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. The shame itself does speak for instant remedy. Be then desired by her that else will take the thing she begs a little to disquantity your train, and the remainder that shall still depend to be such men as may besort your age, which know themselves and you. Darkness and devils! Saddle my horses, call my train together. Degenerate bastard, I'll not trouble thee. Yet have I left a daughter. You strike my people, and your disordered rabble make servants of their betters. Woe, that too late repents. Oh, sir, are you come? Is it your will? Speak, sir. Prepare my horses. Ingratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou show'st thee in a child than the sea-monster. Nay, sir, be patient. Detested kite, thou liest. My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worships of their name. Oh, most small fault! How ugly didst thou in Cordelia show, that like an engine wrenched my frame of nature from the fixed place, drew from my heart all love, and added to the gall. Oh, Lear, Lear, Lear! Beat at this gate that let thy folly in, and thy dear judgment out. Go, go, my people. My lord, I am guiltless, as I am ignorant of what has moved you. It may be so, my lord. Here, nature, here. Dear goddess, here. Suspend thy purpose. If thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful, into her womb convey sterility. Dry up in her the organs of increase, and from her delicate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create her child a spleen, that it may live and be a thwart disnated torment to her. Let it stamp wrinkles in her brow of youth, with cadent tears fret channels in her cheeks, turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away! Now, gods that we adore, whereof comes this? Never afflict yourself to know the cause, but let his disposition have that scope that dotage gives it. What? 50 of my followers at a clap within a fortnight. What's the matter, sir? I'll tell thee. Life and death. I'm ashamed that thou hast power to shake my manhood thus, that these hot tears which break from me perforce should make thee worth them. Blasts and fogs upon thee. The intended woundings of a father's curse pierce every sense about thee. Oh, fond eyes, beweep this cause again. I'll pluck ye out, and cast you with the waters that you lose to temper clay. Yea, is it come to this? Let it be so. Yet have I left a daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear this of thee, with her nails shall flay thy wolfish visage. Thou shalt find that I'll resume the shape which thou dost think I've cast off forever. Thou shalt, I warrant thee. Do you mark that, my lord? I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear you. Play you content. What ho, Oswald? You, sir, more knave than fool, after your master. Nuncle Lear, tarry, take the fool with thee. A fox, when one has caught her, and such a daughter, should sure the slaughter. If my cap would buy a halter, so the fool follows after.